Hey, this is Tony Ross for TonyTeach.com, and I wanted to share with you something I'm working on. My alter ego is Marker Dude, and you can find that on Instagram at Marker Dude. And what I've been playing around with is Posca markers and drawing them out. This is actually a little paper cone I found at Michael's. So I kind of liked what I was doing, but I recently got or purchased a compressor so I could use an airbrush that I haven't used pretty much since college. So before I did that, I decided to do some mock-ups, and because I wanted to actually push the idea of how glossy this particular slime or goop looked. So this is with markers on the before side, and I did a mock-up inside of Photoshop, figuring out how I'm going to actually airbrush it. So what I want to do is show you that, and even with the eyes here, something I want to work on. So I want to show you a little bit of that because I need to test out something. In particular, I think I've got, see if I can open this up. Nope. Hold that thought. To figure out what I did with this one little thing. Good morning, Atticus. Alright, let's go back over here and try to open up this file. Is that the right one? I don't think it is. Is it? Ah, it is. Okay. Okay. So this is a piece I just got yesterday. And I ordered some laser cut wood, actually, from a place called Pinocchio. So this is me cutting this out, and well, I didn't cut it out. They cut it out with a laser. Anyway, so I painted that. So what I want to see about doing is I want to make this a little better. So what I'm going to do is do a quick airbrush mock-up here. One, let's get a new layer. And I think I wanted to, let's grab my brush tool, and I'm going to cover up what I actually painted for the eye. I want to see if I can do a glare here. So let's sample that part and make sure we got a good enough fill on there. So I'm going to color all the stuff back in here and just fade that all out. So, interesting conversation I had with my daughter this morning, and I thought I would share because I was trying to give her some advice and inadvertently ended up giving myself advice. So I will share this with you. She was talking about how she was having a difficult time dealing with some people or some friends at school, and how they just kept trying to make her feel bad about stuff. And I said, well, you remember, no one can make you angry, without your permission. Then I said, you have a lot of power. I said, you can draw, you can write, you can do all these different things. And for you to give that power away to anyone else and saying, well, they've made me feel bad, now I can't do this. I said, that gives them the power. And you shouldn't do that. So I started thinking about that, and it's kind of it was inadvertently preaching to myself. I'm able to because I started telling her, I said, I can do the same thing. I can make music, I can make art, but if I decide someone said something that hurt my feelings, and now I'm going to go into a fetal position and just be depressed all day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that depression is something that to be laughed at or, hey, just get over it. What I am saying is you have to tell yourself sometimes, like, I have the power, and I'm not sharing that with anyone else. So it's that whole little silly thing, don't let someone else's lie become the truth. Anyway, alright, so I got that glare off of there. So let's make another layer. And what I want to do, I can pretty much draw this out. I learned this trick from Neville Page, I believe. So I'm going to draw out a selection. And here, I'm going to make it look like there's a little person standing, just a nice little contour line. Hey, Bob, there you are. So I'm drawing actually with my mouse, believe it or not. Okay. So here is the cutout that I'm doing. Now, in real life, I have an experiment that I'm going to film this when I do it. I figured if I bought, you can get Post-it glue in a glue stick, and then if I got tracing paper and put that on there, then I could make these little cool little stencils that I could cut. And so that's what I'm going to try with this. But meanwhile, I need to make sure I can get away with this. Let me go ahead and save the selection. Let's call it eye glare. Glare? Cool. Alright, let's grab our brush. Let's get a white fill color. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. There. DX. Okay. Gonna make my brush a lot larger. And drop the opacity. This is like dropping the pressure on your airbrush. So I'm going to turn off my crawling ants, or the selection. It'll still be there. I'm just going to turn off the visibility. So in theory, if I kind of airbrush right there, that's what I'm looking for. Which is something that I'm not saying you can't do it with markers. I haven't learned how to do it yet. So that looks pretty good so far. And then the next layer, once that airbrush would dry, I would come in, turn off my selection, so deselect, and let's get this brush a lot smaller. Sample this color here, and what I would do is mimic the eyelashes. This is be a reflection. Let's get back up to a decent amount of pressure. So these are going up that way, so this would come down the other way. Does this have to be exact? Not exactly. Not exactly exact. Not exactly exact. But yeah, that's the idea. So yeah, I think that's what I have to do. So I'll go ahead and color that out, then come in with my airbrush, drop that in, And then add in my lashes. Could probably add some more here. Okay. Not terrible. Alright, let's see what we can do here. For this one, this little heart, I probably... Well, you know what? Knowing me, I'm going to just call it easy and just kind of do this by hand. I'm going to draw... Nope, take that back out. Going to draw two different things. One, the overall heart. All right. And we'll save this selection. Heart 1. And deselect. Second thing, where the little reflection is going to be. And this will be heart 2. Okay, and again, this is like what stencils I would need. So let me load the selection. I need heart 1. Go there. Now, technically, I do need to paint this out a little bit more. Okay. So with heart 1, I guess I could probably do like a dark purple or some junk. Purplish red, something like that. Anyway, get my brush large, drop the opacity down to about 30, and I'm going to airbrush on the outskirts of that little thing there. Looks good. Let's hide that. Alright, not bad. Maybe a little bit there. Yeah. Airbrushing definitely takes me back to the 80s. And I guess I could give it a little bit of a rim light. All right, looks good. And then, you know what? I think I'm actually doing all this on one layer. Not that that's a bad thing, but oh well. Let's load our other selection. And we'll hide that. Why are you not showing? Load selection. Heart 2. Okay. Ah, there you are. Okay, and let's do DX, get white for my foreground color, bring my brush up pretty large. And technically, I'm going to undo that a little bit because the light's supposed to be coming from this side. Okay, hide. Alright, not terrible. So yeah, too much. So the idea is, can do a lot of this. Let's go Command D, deselect, get my brush way down. Can do a lot of this, and I wanted to kind of test out my theories. It's like, I think this is how it would work, but since it's going to be on in real life, there's no undo, so I wanted to test that out first. So yeah, these are my little mock-ups that I've been playing with before I do them for real. I think it's going to be kind of cool. But a little stencil, if you can do it with markers. I haven't figured out how to do it that's cool with markers yet, so I'm taking a little bit of Hajime Sorayama's approach. Like, Sorayama always did these really cool sexy robots, and he was featured in Airbrush magazine, but the whole thing was he didn't do the majority of his work. It was done by hand and watercolors and acrylics and things, and then he would only use the airbrush for highlights. So I think that's what Marker Dude is going to have to do, because I think it'll give a definite cool look, because we have all these hard edges, and then come in and with the airbrush and soften everything up. I think it'll be kind of cool looking. So yeah, not terribly bad. Shrink that puppy down. Looks pretty good. I think that's the direction we're going to go. Alrighty. So this has been Tony Ross for TonyTeach.com. Remember, make art, not excuses. So go make something. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and all the other fun junk. Have a good one.